Hello everyone, welcome to episode 37 of the Ashton Gate 8 with me, Ringo FM, aka Matt. Few things before we get started. First of all, lovely birthday present off my brother, as I am going to WrestleMania this year. So yeah, thanks for that, Tom. And secondly, we've had to change the recording quality up again. There was another update just sort of after Christmas for OBS, and my laptop can't quite handle the settings it was recording on. So to be able to record this in HD, I've had to drop the bitrate slightly, so you will notice during the match gameplay, it might look slightly more pixelated than it did do, but if it makes the gameplay look better, I think that's fine. As I said, I am planning on getting a new laptop. There's one that I've got sounded out, but I've also got my girlfriend's birthday at the end of this month. Christmas has just happened. It's all a bit of a mess. I've got WrestleMania to pay off. I've got Mexico to pay off. I've got a lot of things going out at the moment. So it is what it is. If you don't want to, if it's not for you, that's fine. But I know I've got a few people who watch these videos quite regularly, so thank you very much. But if you want to leave, that's fine. That's fine by me. But please leave a like before you go. But yeah, we've jumped ahead a little bit in the future. So to be able to do more regular uploads, what I need to be doing is sort of getting through the season as quickly as I can and sort of bringing you back for different points in the season. This is a point I thought we'd bring you back on. It's the 8th of December. We've done some transfer dealings already. We've already started our Europa League league stage campaign. We have actually qualified now. We're through to the playoff rounds, which means we're going to get through and whatnot. So we're going to do 2 games today. We've got Leicester at home and Ghent in away in the Europa League. Leicester are a team that come up with us a couple of years ago, and they're doing quite well, to be fair, Leicester. I think they actually sacked Maresca, if I'm not mistaken. They did sack Maresca. He left after 5 years. He just left, full stop. He went to Brighton and then got sacked by Brighton. So now they've got this guy Igor in, and he's doing very, very well over at the King Power. They've got some amazing players. If we look at the tactics, one guy who I thought at one stage we were going to bring in to replace Patino was Archie Gray, obviously the Leeds lad. He looks fantastic. They've got another good player as well. They've got like this absolute unit of a sentiment that I can't for the life of me remember his name. Is it this guy? Who is it? Very professional start to the video, Matt, this, isn't it? Aravena? It's this guy. It's Finn Yelch. So he plays centre-back or centre-mid, but he's an absolute brute, and we were looking at him, but we didn't get him in. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you really quickly then. Let's not talk about Leicester. I'm going to show you really quickly. We are second in the league table. We have won 9 games, drawn 3, and lost only 1, the game to Leeds, who were doing okay, to be fair. A 1-0 loss to Leeds, which resulted us changing into a 4-2-3-1, with Kruger playing as the advanced playmaker, and then that didn't necessarily work after a couple of weeks. So that was when we started drawing the games. So we went back to the 4-2-4, which has done us well. And it's seen us absolutely fly back up the table, sitting in second, sitting pretty through in the cup competitions. If I just change this now, can I find team competitions? I can. First in the Europa League phase, second in the Premier League, 3rd round of the FA Cup against Charlton, and a quarter-final of the Carabao against Bournemouth. And what we have been doing... okay. Didn't click on that one, but there we go. I'm having Lelujo style nonsense going on with this. And Kev, if you're watching, this skin begins with a K. It's the one that Clates uses, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called. It is called Kajiro skin. Great skin. So yeah, we're doing well. I mean, in terms of who's doing well and who's not, Ethan Ayala is the top goal scorer with 9 goals this season. This has sort of been his breakout season. He is apparently natural at advanced forward. And again, if you think about the Greens is the stuff that they need to be good at. And the Blues is like, okay, well, it'll help if he's good at that. I'm actually playing him as a complete forward. His dribbling is 14, finishing 17. Again, look at the greens. First touch 15, heading of 16, technique of 15, off the ball 16, composure 13, anticipation 14. Acceleration and agility is high, and his strength is a little bit low. He's only 5'9", but that's fine. And then the rest of it blues. So his long shots, his passing, his decision making, which is very good anyway. Vision, work rate, teamwork isn't amazing, but his pace, his stamina, and his balance is still quite good. But he's absolutely flying. He's scored 4 Premier League goals, got 3 assists, 9 goals and 4 assists in total. He's doing very, very well. And he came in because Junior Krupi picked up a bit of a knock. You see, he's not started every game. He's done very well, but we did change up to an advanced forward, and then obviously as an advanced playmaker. If we look at his form, he wasn't really performing at advanced playmaker. We dropped him back in as a false 9. He's got 2 goals and 3 assists in the 4 games since then. Majority in the Premier League, 1 against Maribor. So we've been using the cup competitions to bring some of the younger lads in and rotate the squad a little bit. Sheldrup was also hitting 5 assists. Sheldrup, obviously we knew Sheldrup would be amazing, but he, for me, is already doing better than Mason Greenwood was doing. We look at his form for us, again, advanced playmaker. I think he's an advanced playmaker. If we look at his form for Norway as well, they play him as an AP. They do, he's a bit of a, I don't quite know what he is, whether he's a playmaker, whether he's an inside forward, but either way, he's doing very well in either role. To be honest, I think he's more of an AP. I think advanced playmaker uses his good attributes more than inside forward does. So we have changed the tactics slightly, and I'll show you that in a moment. And then a lot of player of the match awards, Lorenzo Luca. It is just Lorenzo Luca. I think he's just going to be around here forever, isn't he? He's going to be around here forever. So yeah, let's look at the tactic before we jump in. It's not very different. Trevor Grin still tends to play as a segundo volante. Now, Ethan Ayala plays as a complete forward. Andre Borza, we've changed up to a wing-back on attack. And it's worked out very well. I mean, he's not really like, he doesn't look like he'd be great as an attacking wing back. He's like 13s and whatnot, but his player traits, gets forward whenever possible, knocks the ball past the opponent, and I think he is actually training on switching the ball to the wider as he is. So we want to train 1-2s on him as well. There was a very, very, very good video. I forget his name, bear with me. A very good video by Lewis H90 about player traits, and he says the same about one of his left backs. Because he's so physical and he's got good mental attributes, his player traits sort of set him out above the rest. So I thought, you know what, let's try him as a wing back on attack. And if you have a little look, he is now flying in terms of assists. He's getting massive average ratings every game. If you look at his career history, in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons beforehand that he's played for us, including the sort of half season in the Championship, he's got 5, 6, 7 assists. He's so far got 4 assists this season playing as a wing-back attack. He's also scored his first goal for the club in the Europa League. Yeah, his first goal for the club was in the Europa League. So it's a justified change. It basically just means that he can bomb on, and it allows Riascos can sort of sit there, and then depending on who it is, Jota obviously comes in to make that like a 3, and then Trev can run through the middle there, or Alex Scott can sort of roam around there. We've just got like a lot of cover across the pitch, and if we look at the analysis, it's only really here in the middle that we're lacking. That's fine. That's fine, because players do, with the new position of rotation, players drop in and drop out. And Big Trev, do you know what? I'm going to talk about Big Trev. I know I talk about him all the time. His ability's gone up, his potential ability's gone up, and he actually scored his first Premier League goal for the club against Crystal Palace. It wasn't Crystal Palace, it was Brentford. I'm going to show you the goals, because it's going to highlight what Junior Krupi now does and what Ethan Ayala now does for the team. I can potentially show you the Palace game, because it'll highlight Borza being absolutely phenomenal. But we'll show you this really quickly. So again, don't forget, it's going to be slightly grainier, but I have dropped down the match speed. So you can see Shelder up here. Let's just have a look. Shelder up gets up here. You've got Andre Borza and Riascos offering support. Watch Borza's run. So Borza's completely free. Riascos takes the defender away, which is Smith, oddly enough, former player of ours. Falls to Borza. Borza plays it to the back post, and Junior Krupi with a back-heeled left-footed finish. So it just adds a slightly different dimension, and that's why Krupi's been brought back in as like the false nine. If he was an advanced forward, he would just stay at the back post, whereas false nine, he tends to drop in slightly, and that's what he did there. And then we have a look at the second goal. So don't forget, Ayala is now on as a complete forward on attack. Krupi is a false nine. You've got Borza as a wing back. You've got Sheldrup as an advanced playmaker here. So Ayala goes wide. Grinsell, Sheldrup. So Ayala goes wide, Borza overlaps, Krupi holds his position, Sheldrup and Grinsell hold the middle, and then out on the right-hand side here is Abdoulaye Souma. So think about what we've got here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players in attack, 2 players supporting, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, and then obviously Malo Gusto back here with 4. So we've got very good coverage all over the pitch. So Ayala goes down the left, Borza holds his run. Now he engages. He starts bringing in now. Ayala's carried 2 defenders with him. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. They're your attacking players. They're Shelder up there. And then you've got Grinsell and you have got Alex Scott as the deep line playmaker supporting. Watch the run Souma makes, Abdoulaye Souma, and then watch the run Grinsell makes, okay? Let's drop it down one more, actually, just so we can see it a bit slower. So Ayala gets to the byline, cuts it into Krupi. Trev's completely free. Sheldrup is occupying 2 defenders. Alex Scott is occupying this midfielder. Souma's going to pull this defender away, and Grinsell's going to tap it in. Watch this. Now that is fantastic positional play. And Trevor Grinsell has got his first goal in the Premier League. A player who, on the base of it, I think not many Football Manager players would use. But I think he's got a very good mix of, I mean, if you look for Segundo Volante, he can mark, he can pass, he can tackle. He's got good work rate, good position. Off the ball's not great, but that will get better as he gets older. Stamina is amazing. Pace is okay. All the other Blues are okay. 10 out of 20's average, isn't it? He's an average Premier League footballer. He's a young lad. He's 21 years of age. Most of the time playing for Lincoln, he played as a Segundo Volante and he got himself 9 goals. This lad can finish. Gets forward whenever possible, tries killer balls, tries long-range passes, and now we're trading into arrival late in the penalty area. He's going to get some goals for us, Trevor Grinsell. I noticed him in the very first youth intake. I thought, this lad's going to be special. This lad's going to be some player. He didn't develop exactly how we want him to, but he's developed nonetheless, and the tactic is leading into his development. And speaking of development, we've now got some really good youth talents in. Diego Liel, the young Argentine lad we signed, he's doing very good for the under-21s. We will probably try and loan him out in January. Someone like Alex Baird, who's been around the club for a while, still hasn't been loaned out, but he's another guy who's been playing in the Europa League. Dean Davies just continuing his development and doing very well. Is he injured now? Oh no, when did he get injured? He's pulled his calf muscle. What's his medical report saying? Oh, it's fine. He's only going to be out for 6 days. That's fine. He's only missing 1 week. We've just got a very, very good crop of young players. I've mentioned it before. The under-21s tends to look like this now. Alex Ball is still the manager. But the under-21s, we've got a couple of players rotating in. I'd mentioned it on a previous video. If you've got players who aren't necessarily settling at the club, dropped into the under-21s and let them play. Abdoulaye Souma wasn't really settling. We've dropped him down to the under-21s. He's now 22, so this season we'll probably look to bring him out of it at the end of that. Bobrov, another lad who wasn't really settling. He's the Czech lad. That's what we do there. We put Hercher out there, Bobrov there. Rosero, again, not really settling. Cully is a lad from the under-18s who's been brought up because I think he's actually got quite a bit of potential in him. To be completely honest with you, look, he's like 3.5. Don't forget, a 3-star player in the way that we play is like a Mads Bidstrup type player. Bit of potential in Cully there. Ewan Yeton, again, really should be in and around the first team, but he does play quite a bit in the Europa League, as does Souma. You've got like Chavez Brown, who's a young lad with a bit of potential, but I'm not quite sure what he is yet. Bridges, again, another Y player who, again, I think he's a playmaker. To be completely honest with you, I think he's a playmaker in kind of in the mould of Sheldrup. So maybe we train him up with that. I'm not too sure. Bridgewater, Hatswell. I don't know where Hatswell came from because he was definitely not. I think he's a 4-star potential player now. 3.5. He was like a 2.5-star potential player at one point. He's just got so much better. He's a brute, isn't he? He's a proper brute of a centre-back. He's only 5'10", which is weird, but I think he's like a Connor Cody type. He doesn't need to be that tall. Obviously, Bridgewater as well. He's not doing too great. And Rodgers is another lad who's doing quite well, playing as a complete wing back on that side. Could even play as a wing back attack. So Vincent Ibrahim, he's another one who didn't look like he was going to be anything amazing, but has sort of come about and started doing quite well. So yeah, that's the position the club's in. The club is doing very well. I've got a nice new picture there. Financially, we're not doing amazing. I can't lie, we're £21 million in the red. However, if we look at the finances and the debt and loans, the net debt is now only £62 million on this stupid mortgage loan that they took out. There's only 24.5 remaining of that. The rest of the net debt is this £5 million interest payable that was added to it sort of every month. So we've got like the £42 million debt overall with 33 left to pay off. Ignore the net debt; it will go. FFP wise, we're projected to go above it. This balance doesn't take into consideration your television money. We're only making, like, you can see the losses over the next 3 years, projected losses. Even with this, only 60 million this year, 55 million the year after, and then the year after that, they project we're going to make a £4 million loss that season. I think is when that loan's going to be paid off, and you can see the transfer budget and whatnot is coming up there. The expenditure will drop because wages will drop, turnover potentially goes down. However, if we carry on doing as well as we are doing, the turnover will be higher. Again, I cannot complain. I can't complain. Yeah. Let's put team competitions in there. Finance and salary there, team competitions. We're doing very well. So we're going to go ahead now. We've got 2 days. We're going to play the Leicester game, and then we will play the KAA Ghent game. So weirdly, Giorgio Chiellini, purely because he's got good tactical knowledge, good judging player ability and potential, it's Giorgio Chiellini, and he's a bit of a pig, isn't he? Italian lad. He keeps trying to play Greaves as a left wing back, and it really frustrates the life out of me because Bors is fit. I think what it is that Greaves is basically like an important player, isn't he? Regular starter, stroke important player. He's dropped down to 2.5 star. That's how good Branthwaite is. Yeah, he keeps trying to play him out wide, and it's really, really frustrating the life out of me. But we do obviously rotate for the Europa League. This is how we normally start. This is pretty much our Premier League lineup. This is how we normally start. Jota rotates in with Sheldrup. These two are front. Junior Krupi is on the edge of signing a new contract amidst interest from Man United. He's had a load of Man United players sort of saying, "Oh, you should come to the club," and it's doing my head in. So this is normally how we line up. We don't put Bobrov in there yet. We normally have Utara in there, but he is on AFCON duty. And normally Bidstrup's in there, but we want to keep giving game time to Trevor Grinsell. Bidstrup normally plays the European game, so he'll probably play there. We've obviously got Charlie, still doing well. Our Charlie, he's doing quite well. He looks like just a good, competent fullback now. We've just got a very, very good team, haven't we? Herta Rosario, Bidstrup, Budo, you and Yetin dropping down to the under-21, so he's still not ready to play. Coyote is a wing-back on defend, purely because we've got Doak as a winger on support, and Ben Doak is just getting better. Again, ignore the red arrows. They're not always going to be on a green trajectory. So, yeah, we're doing quite well, to be honest with you. Not good news. Junior Krupi has pulled his groin in a training session before this Leicester game, so I think Ethan Ayala is going to have to come in as the complete forward. He's signing a new contract with us. He's going to bring United off. Love it, Junior Krupi. Again, yeah, just really quickly, there's a lot of people who will say, like, obviously do this. Ethan Ayala's hit a 10. He's done very well. Praise him. Same for Alex Scott. Same for Sheldrup. And they'll say, criticise the ones in the red here, but Rosario's hit a 6.95. And if your lowest average rating on a training session is a 7, don't criticise him. He's trained well. 7 is average, isn't it? 6.7 is the average on Football Manager now. So if anything above a 6.7 or above, fine. Anything less than a 6.7, even a 6.6, they can get a bit annoyed at. But there's no point in criticising Rosario there. He's trained well. He's just not trained as well as everybody else. That just says how well everybody else is training, rather than how poorly he's training. Now, there is an under-21s game tomorrow. We need to be careful of, because the likes of Bobrov, Suma, and probably Yetin will play in the Ghent game. So we might just have to rotate with minutes. Who's this? Oh, I didn't talk about the transfers. Sorry, we have made some transfers in. Our scouting is magnificent. Look at some of these players that it looks like we're bringing in. So Yassine Moussaoui is an Algerian defender. We've got a 225k bidding for him. The scouts are saying only sign him as a last resort. He's 21. He's 225k. He's got very good mental attributes and decent physical. He's an African player. So I want to try and take advantage commercially of players like this. So Moussaoui, Stefan Saunders is an Australian centre mid. He's 6'6", this lad. Again, they don't think he's going to be amazing, but he's potentially Premier League standard. He's only 18. I think he'll be very, very good. Probably, and like if you look at his box to box, I think he could potentially play like Volante. So he might be coming through the door. One player that definitely is coming through the door. Sorry, there's three. There's this guy. There's a Russian guy called Sergei Simonov coming in for 3.1 million, a model citizen Russian centre half. I've not seen many Russian new gens this year. Do you know what I have decided as well as I put it on Twitter? I don't like these faces. I actually prefer the default faces. I know I'm an absolute psychopath, aren't I? I think they actually, there's a bit more variety in the default faces than this. But anyway, he's coming in, 3.1 million. He will more than likely go straight back out on loan. We've also got Gustav Orting, who we did play against when we played Copenhagen. And do you know what? He played well. It was one of these games here, 7.2 average rating. He was tearing us apart. He's 20 years of age, £1.6 million release clause. I thought, let's get him in. He offers us something different out on the wing. Well, again, he can be in and around rotation in the first team, which means we can probably let Hercher go. And then this guy, this is the star guy. It's a Japanese guy from Gamba, Osaka. It's Daisen Murashima. He's coming in for £3.1 million. Look at him. Look at him. I don't really know what he is. I think he's more of a pressing forward, but his anticipation and bravery is not great, so maybe he is an advanced forward. Really good determination. He's very fast. He's good in the air. He's aggressive. I really like the look of him, so he's coming in for 3.1 million. And there was another Japanese guy that we did look at. Where is he? It's this guy. He signed a new contract in the end with Yokohama. It's Kazuki Issei. Look at him. There's just a couple of Japanese players that have just spawned in on this save who are just incredible. And I'll happily take advantage of the Asian market. Here he is. Junior Krupi has committed his future to Bristol City. He has signed a new 5-year contract. Big wage, 160k. We've got a lot in the wage budget still. Have a little look here. Even after that, we've still got like 1.5 mil to spend in the wage budget. So Junior Krupi is in. £111 million release clause. If someone pays that, then that's fine because we paid the big outlay for him anyway. I think he was 30 mil, wasn't he? Something like that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. So he's coming in. That is absolutely fantastic. Krupi can play. Luca can play 60 minutes. Do you know what I might actually do? Let's put Lorenzo Luca to play for the under-21s for this game week. And then we can rest one of the guys that we were going to bring in for the Europa League game. I'm going to play Krupi then. If you think he can play, he can play. I'm not going to change it if it doesn't need to be dropped. It says he can play. Let's just add this additional focus. I always do this. Just do his generator. We'll keep an eye on him. We do obviously have Ayala there, but I don't want to drop Krupi. Krupi is my best player, essentially. He scored an absolute wonder goal as well. I can't remember who it was against. He scored an absolute wonder goal in off the underside of the bar. Let's try and find it. So, kick off then. Leicester get us underway. That's a bit too slow now, isn't it? Leicester get us underway at Ashton Gate. Yeah, man. Obviously, I say it all the time. The idea of the save is to get these young lads in. Pedrosa wouldn't necessarily count as one, purely because we did sign him. But the fact that we can start rotating in players like Frith, Il Budo, obviously Trev, a couple of younger players. Riascos is a player we signed quite young and brought through. But even the likes of the guys we signed, like Andre Borza, we signed for God, what was he like? 3 million when we were in the Championship, and he is one of the Premier League's best left backs now. So we are developing players. Never mind just developing players from our academy. We're developing players that we bring through the door. What a ball that is! That's a great save by Restes. So Leicester have a corner. They are putting a bit of pressure on us here, Leicester. The ball's whipped in, and it's headed away by Pedrosa. Win your second header. Junior Krupi does well. I don't mind that we always have people back in the box. I'd rather defend the box and then try and counter than have one person sort of stood up front and the opposition have a numerical advantage then. Another corner. So 4 minutes in and all the highlights have been Leicester with corners. Zeballos with the ball in, away by Riascos. It falls to Bennett. Bennett goes back to Zeballos. Not the option, you know. He should have hit that. Christensen, good tackle, and Ben Doak wins the ball back. So we're about 15 minutes in, and we've not really done anything. There was a chance off a corner there, if you noticed the ticker at the bottom. I've just had to get them encouraged because they're not really performing. Do you know what I need to do? I don't put this on by default, but when Sheldrop's playing as an AP, we tell Borza to get further forward and we do the overlap on the left-hand side. I think that just stops Sheldrop running into silly areas. He just waits for a minute, waits for the support. And speaking of, we've got a corner which Bungard will take. And he has whipped a few really good balls in recently, Philip Bungard. And there's another one. Get up, Branthwaite! Jared Branthwaite scores! 1-0 Bristol City. What a delivery, Philip Bungard. He's another player who was signed sort of like out of necessity. We turned him down once, if you remember. If you go back and watch a couple of episodes back, we actually turned him down to sign Beto. And then we signed him the next year on loan in the January, got him for £15 million, and he's just turned into an absolute wonderful player for us. What a delivery and what a header, 1-0. A lot of set pieces in this match, you know. There's Carvalho for Leicester, Archie Gray. And again, we do press, we do love the press, but the team drops in. I mean, look at that by Coyote, that's great covering. We drop in really well. We don't just run at people for the sake of it. Here's Riascos, lovely ball to Sheldrop. And here we go, he's touched it into the middle of the park. Krupi's dropped in deep now. Look at the space for Ben Doak. And there's players all over the place in red shirts. Doak's delivery. Sheldrop is free! Oh, he's got to score! That's a dreadful finish. That's a dreadful finish from Sheldrop. All right, Leicester back on the ball. We are starting to get more of the game here, but Leicester won't go down without a fight. They're a good team on this now. Probably what's going to happen to them in real life is they're going to come flying back up, and then they'll bloody elbows. They'll probably then start developing like they have in this save. Sheldrop to Riascos. He's dwelled on the ball, and Branthwaite's come out of position, and Bennett is in, and Bennett has scored an absolutely wonderful goal. Someone like Riascos, he's only 20. We've got to let him make those mistakes. He's dwelled on the ball a little bit there. I mean, Juice and Bennett has just scored a wonder goal, really, but it's this here. Like, he's just dwelled on the ball slightly too long. Branthwaite didn't really need to come over there, but what a finish from Juice and Bennett. It's 1-1. I wouldn't say undeserved either, you know. I think Leicester have been on par with us here. I mean, Alex Scott is having a dreadful game here, so he will more than likely come off. Sheldrop, Mr. Sitter at the back post. Krupi looks like he's being hampered by that injury, so I think a few changes are in order at half-time. Sheldrop with a free kick now. He does hit a mean one. Oh, it's a great save by Robert Sanchez. So half-time, it's 1-1. I didn't really like what I saw from them there. There's a bit of a knock to Pedrosa as well. I'm going to bring Greaves on, and we will put Branthwaite on the right-hand side. Greaves can play out on the left here. Alex Scott's not performed. We did say that. We're going to bring Trev on to try and break the lines of the press there. Sheldrop and Krupi aren't doing fantastically, so we will bring Jota on, and let's rest Krupi. Let's rest Junior Krupi. We have got the game obviously, in a couple of days' time against Ghent, which we need players for as well, to be honest. So yeah, we're gonna change up a little bit. Couple of different players in there. Obviously, Jota comes in as an inside forward. Ayala comes on as a complete forward, and Trevor Grinsell comes on as a segundo volante on attack. So it changes it up slightly. I think we do need that. We weren't amazing there, were we? That's a really poor pass from Jota. He's a strange one, Jota. He's definitely not the player he was, which is fine. He's like 33 on this now. It makes sense. He's not going to be exactly the same as he was, but that doesn't mean he's doing poorly. He's just not doing great. Here he is now, Jota. Prove me wrong, Diogo. Jota. That's a great knock in. Ayala tries to get up and can't. There's Boz. You can see that's the cover I'm on about. We've basically got like a 5-man cover all the time. Jacob Greaves is really high up here. Riascos, yeah, change back, lads. Branthwaite. Ball out to Coyote. Down the line for Ben Doak, who can skip around any man. And it's a great delivery, and it's fallen for Philip Bungard. And Philip Bungard makes it 2-1. Fantastic. That is a great ball by Ben Doak. He's turned so good. He was a massive, he was 60 mil. Sorry, excuse me, work laptop's pinging. 60 mil, Ben Doak, but it's this that he can do. Knocks it past, gets a ball, low across. Ayala, there's 3 players waiting to tap that in. Trev's in there as well. There's 3 or 4 players who can tap that in there. It's another corner for Leicester. They've had so many corners. We won't stop until it stops. That's basically what Leicester are saying about their bloody set pieces here. Here's Christensen, Ceballos. Great save, Restes. Great save. And it's hit the corner flag and gone out for the throw-in. I'm tempted to make a couple of more subs, but I don't want to do it just for the sake of doing it. Riascos is knackered. We've got 1 sub left to make. And I've not got another centre-mid on the bench. Shit. Riascos is just going to have to grin and bear it. It'll probably be Borza or Bungard coming off. But he's playing well, Bungard. Golden assist. I don't want to bring him off for the sake of it. Here's Baselli to Jewison Bennett. Baselli to Wout Faz. Gravenberg, Ayala wins it back. He's really good as a complete forward, Ayala. Bungard, overlap and run from Jota. If he can find it, he goes alone. Not sure about that. He has found Diogo Jota. He's waiting for the run of Borza. He holds it up well. It's Andre Borza. He's into the area. Oh, Andre. Right. Here is Philip Bungard. Going to whip a corner in. Again, the big lads are at the back post. He's looking for Greaves. Doesn't win his header. And Baselli can get it away. Let's make that sub. Let's bring Charlie Frith on for Andre Borza. Frith, a bit more defensive, but we do still tell the winger on that side to hold the ball up to allow him to get forward, because he's got a bit about him going forward, Charlie. He's more of a defensive player, but he's absolutely got a bit about him going forward. I think he scored on his debut, didn't he? Way back when. Definitely more of a defensive fullback than he is attacking, but I don't mind him going up there. There's Baselli, whips his cross in, looking for Ceballos, and Restes comes to claim. Good goalkeeper. I'm so glad we signed him on a free as well. We are training him to start counter-attacks with a long throw. He's got really good throwing and really good strength. Again, the player traits video that I mentioned. Go on, Trev, what can you do? Well done, lad. Look how seamlessly Branthwaite just moved over to the right-hand side there. Here's Doak, down the line for Ayala. Complete forward, he just makes so many good runs. Ayala. There's men in the middle, and there's a man on the edge, and he's looking for Diogo Jota, who's good in the air, as we know, and his header is straight at Robert Sanchez. Charlie Frith with a defensive header there. Here's Trevor Grinsell now. Good through ball to Ben Doak. Knocking it past Christensen again. He's running right at him. He loves it. Doak's delivering. Ayala! Oh, it's blocked. It's blocked away. Do you know what? I am just going to put that back up one. It's slightly too slow. I feel like the match is taken forever. Corner to be taken on this side by Ben Doak. Big lads in near post now. He's looking for Greaves. Headed away. Trevor. Ben Doak. This is better. Ben Doak. Trevor Grinsell. to Jacob Greaves, and that's your end of highlight. Right. Charlie Frith to Jota, back to Frith. Riascos, Frith, that's a good delivery, you know. Bendoka's up! We nearly done them with the horrible throwing routine. It's very much become our game since the start of the second half. We're 12 shots, 8 on target, very high XG, more corners, fouls are the same, only 1 yellow card, possession, more of everything, really. It's really become our game. We've grown into it very much so. Here's Riascos. Trevor Grinsell. That's a great ball. That's a fantastic ball. And Ayala denied by the foot of Robert Sanchez. Trevor Grinsell's progressive passes, I need to show you it. His progressive passes per 90 is like the best in the league. Or at least it was the last time I checked it. It'll still be quite high. There's Branthwaite again. Well saved by Robert Sanchez. We're just pigs, aren't we? Get the ball to the big men in the corners. Ben Doak now. Thinking about where he's placing it. Straight on the head of Baselli. That's where he's placing it. And Coyote is never going to put that one in. Right, Bungard again. A very deep free kick. He's looking for Jacob Greaves, who's knocked his header down. Branthwaite can win that one. Oh, it's a calamity at the back for Leicester. And Jared Branthwaite, that's how I paid 72 million. Purely for the jumping. I mean, he's a fantastic player, obviously. But the fact he's 6'5" and he's got 19 jumping reach, he will win anything like this. That is his all day long. And Jared Branthwaite with a big header. Robert Sanchez pouring it thin air. A very much deserved third goal, I'd say. Second half, we've been superb. Charlie Frith is on a 7.0 since coming off the bench. What a lad. So's Trev. They came in the first youth intake, them two. That was years ago. 3 stars, honestly. Ignore this whole the need for everyone to be 4-star, 5-star. 2.5, 3-star is fine. 2.5 and 3-star is absolutely fine. And this should be a game-ending highlight as Jacob Greaves brings us forward, finds Trevor Grinsell. That change definitely helped because he's breaking the lines down. There's Charlie Frith. Whips a nice early ball in, which Robert Sanchez will take. And that should be the end of it. If the referee can count. Sanchez with a big kick. Greaves needs to win his header and does. And there is full time at Ashton Gate. It's Bristol City 3, Leicester City 1. So a big win. What I'm going to do, I'm going to rest the lads who... Well, I'm going to rest them all. I think it's pretty imperative you do this. I mean, look how tired they are, particularly at Riascos. I think it's pretty imperative you rest them when you're in European competitions and you've not got a big squad. And what I do want to show you is I will let my assistant manager pick the squad for the Europa League game at the start because he tends to bring some of the younger players in. And I don't know whether that's a new addition. I don't remember noticing it in last year's game or the years before that. But then, obviously, when they then pick the squad for the next Premier League game, those lads disappear. So I need to show you that, and I do need to show you, I did mention it, Trevor Grinsell's report here. This skin's amazing. Look at these progressive passes per 90 minutes. 6.1 progressive passes per 90 minutes. 2.37 more than the average Premier League. And he's completing the passes. He's got a really high non-penalty XG. That's why we get him in the box. He's a Premier League player. He's a Premier League centre midfielder, Trevor Grinsell. I knew it from the minute I saw him all those years ago. I knew it. And he's a leader. He's got 15 leadership. He captained us in the playoff final. And he scored a goal. Don't listen to some of the nonsense you hear. Obviously, it's a single-player game. Play the game however you want to play it. But don't listen to the nonsense of everyone needs to be this and everyone needs to be that. A 3-star player, 2.5-star player, a 2-star player is a decent rating for the senior team. That is what that denotes. Stars don't mean everything, but they can lead you into certain avenues, can't they? Like a 2-star player. A 2-star player is a decent rating for the senior team. That basically means that Diego Leal is a decent rating for the senior team. And you look at him, you look at the eyes test, I always say, he could play in the Premier League. He absolutely could play in the Premier League. You know, I'll look at the lads I've got out on loan. Let's see. Who's a good one? Dean Cole is what? 1.5 star now, Dean Cole. 1.5 star. Not quite ready for the Premier League. Not quite ready for the first team. Harry Bond, he's another one. He's 1.5 star. We've been toying with the idea of bringing Harry Bond back through for a while, haven't we? Who is a 2-star? I know someone's a 2-star. Bryn Hilton's a 2-star. You play him in the Premier League, and I did play him in the Premier League, and he was all right. So, you got to think about it logically. Think about what you're doing. If Facundo Candia, he's 2-star. He looks like he could play in the Premier League. Not really playing for Wrexham. I'd not really noticed that. Gary Hobbs, another one. He's 1.5, isn't he? Yeah, he's nearly there. He's not, he's not quite as good as Liel. But yeah, the idea that stars mean nothing, I think that's a bit of conjecture, really. I think the stars can lead you down the path. Again, Jordan Moore. I played Jordan Moore in the Premier League last year. He played a couple of games for us. So, don't listen to all these big, some of the big accounts who are like, don't do this and don't do that. Do what the fucking hell you want, mate. But, yeah, they do. There's a reason they're there. Obviously, if you've got better staff, the better it is. To say don't listen to them at all is nonsense. Michael Riascos last year was a 2-star player. He's a 3-star player now. Look at him. Who else was a 2-star player? Ayala was a 2-star player last year. He's gone up to 3. Oh, he's gone up to 3.5 now. He's flying up. Is Lorenzo Lucas 2.5? We all know how good Lorenzo Luca is. He scores goals all the time. So, yeah. Don't listen to his nonsense. Big win for the under-21s against Hull. Goals all over the place. Daniel Parks is one. I did mention lads coming through the academy and playing in the Europa League. I've gone full Moisey. He plays quite a bit, actually. He's played a few games for us. Ross Bridges made an appearance, as did Brennan Hatswell. I use it as an opportunity to bring the young lads through. And you'll see, if we go to the homepage and look at our Europa League standing, we're first in the league phase. We're in the playoffs. We're ahead of Man United, ahead of Galatasaray, Fenerbahce. If we look at the preview, can I see the preview? Oh, I can't see the preview. Oh, I can't see the preview. If you look at the teams that have won it since the start of the save, Liverpool, Milan, Leipzig, Sport, and Napoli, Tottenham. We're nothing on them, are we? Let's be honest. That we're not that caliber of team. So if we're doing this well, I think we're in for a good run, aren't we? And again, if we're using it to bring young players through, that the Europa League teams I've been using are very, very rotated and very youth heavy, and we're top of the league. So I think we've actually got a fantastic chance of winning that trophy. I did say 2 days ago in the last video, I want to go hell for leather for Europa League. I did it last season with the Carabao. I'm doing it pretty much this season with the Europa League, but we do rotate the squad throughout. So it's an opportunity to A, win a major European trophy, and to B, play young players. If it was the Conference League that we had just done for, I would have literally just played the fully rotated team the entire way. But we do have a little sprinkling of the first team players in there. So, yeah. We've already won one major trophy with 2 of the 8. I think the first major trophy we win with 8 of the 8. I think that will be the 8, if that makes sense. That would be the first 8 players to have come through the youth academy, be classed as homegrown a club. That would be that wouldn't be, I would say, the end of the save. That would probably mean I'd stop the YouTube version of the save and we'll just play offline and then maybe give you some more updates. I'm thinking of doing a non-league to legend type save as the next one. Obviously starting with the team at the bottom of the Vanarama, or even unemployed, and just sort of seeing how we go from there, because I've not actually done that, believe it or not. I've not done it. I did it once time ago with Gateshead, and I had Marique Sacco, and he was 6'10", and he scored every header. But yeah, I'm thinking that's what the next save is going to be. So the first time we win, when's this? Tomorrow? No, these can't play. Luca, fine. Bobrov needs to be unavailable for this game. Yetin will mark as unavailable, and the rest of them is fine. So Bridges goes back in there. Do you know what I need to do? I need to move Bridges to the senior team. And I need Bridges to be an AP. He's not an inside forward, is he? He's an AP. So Shell drop off. Bridges. Ross Bridges. He is an AP. Wide target forward. He'd be the best wide target forward there. It's only because he's 6'3". He's not actually a wide target forward. And then, yeah, AP. Support. You don't necessarily need your quickness going up anymore, lad. And then we will move him back to the under-21s. There you go. See you later, Ross. Right. So that's that then. Rosero, Hetzke. No, that needs to swap round. Ibrahim, Haxwell, Liel, Bridgewater on the right-hand side there. That's fine. That's a different Yeton. This is the centre-back Yeton. Cully, Brown, Curran, Graham. I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, so this is what I'm on about. So if I let Chiellini pick the team for the game, go into tactics, you should notice. Here you go. Ibrahim's there. Who else is there? Bob Rob's there. Under 21 players. Yeton's there. Who else is knocking about? He's only actually called up 2. He's only really called up Ibrahim, which is a weird one. He normally calls up a few more. We'll start Yeton. We will start Greaves. We will start Pedrosa. We'll put Branthwaite on the bench instead of... No, we'll drop Coyote. We'll put Gusto on the bench. Krupic, fine. Ayala, Bungard, Jota, Doak. I'm not going to play Doak. I'm going to play Suma. I think Suma deserves a start. Bidstrup definitely deserves a start. Scott is the DLP. Bors agrees. Pedrosa, Yeton, Restes. And that's just how I do it. I let Chiellini bring whoever he wants to bring in through. Oh, we've got a youth take preview there. We'll look at that in a second. Oh, what a video this has turned out to be. Hopefully the quality's been okay. It should still be 1080p now, but he needs to knock the ball past the opponent, doesn't he? Where's the attacking coach? What is it? Grealish? Grealish? Wilshere. No, he's technical. Yeah, it's Jason Ewell. Movement. Get forward whenever possible. I'm going to tell him to knock the ball past the opponent. Right. Is that a 5-star youth intake? Now, Giorgio has brought in good strikers before and goalkeepers, but now it looks like we've got one centre-back, one centre-mid, and 2 strikers look like they're going to be good. And again, this is the thing, and I mentioned it before about star ratings. People say they don't pay attention to star ratings and that you shouldn't pay attention to star ratings. But like I did there, you see 5-star youth intake preview, you think, oh my God. And then you look and you go, oh, look, he's a 5-star youth potential player. And you go and sign him. But realistically, a 3-star youth potential player, when you're a top-level team, a top division team, is a good player. If any of these turned out to be a 3-star player, I wouldn't mind. Because a 3-star player is a very good player. A 3-star player is, look at on tactics screen, 3-star for the position that they're in. Andre Borza is a 3-star player. Mads Bidstrup is a 3-star player. Diogo Jota is a 3-star player. Philip Bungard, who you saw last match get a goal and assist, is a 3-star player. They matter. They matter. They don't matter as they're not gospel. They're absolutely not gospel. But a 2.5 stars a first team level player. So think about it. Come on. Think about it. So we are going to change things up slightly. I'm going to play Bidstrup as the DLP. He can play that role. Mrs. birthday present's just been delivered. Fantastic. Right, so I'm going to change it up. We're going to start Trev. I think he deserves a start. Lorenzo Luca isn't fit enough. So, oh God, none of them are. Oh, none of them are fit enough. El Budo's coming back from injury. Oh dear. I'm just going to have to stick with it. I'm just going to have to stick with that. So, that's the only change. I'm going to put Trev in, Bridgestrup there. Everyone else seems okay. We're good. And for the first time, God, God, why am I out of breath? I only went to the front door. For the first time, I get to do this. Hopefully it records it. Hoping it does. It might come through the headset if not. Hoping. It's not recording it, but I can hear it. I'm bopping along to the Europa League music. What a bop. Right. Gift Orban still plays for Ghent on this save. Goodness me. How? How is he still there? Anyway. Oh, we're putting the pressure on. So we're going to try and get this out the way as quickly as possible. I have done no work today. I have. I'm lying. Pedrosa with a deep free kick. Looking for Bidstrup. He's lost possession there. That's more on Pedrosa than Bidstrup for me. But yeah, that was just a bit of a silly pass. And you'd like to think Bidstrup's better than that. Gandalman to Brown. Chasing them back and forcing them backwards. That's nice. To Shepherd. Oh, Ayala nearly gets there. He turned the afterburners on Ethan Ayala, didn't he? It's very early stages, so I'm not going to kick off, but they are knocking it round like we're not even on the park, and they should have scored. He's at the post. Definitely need an encourage there because we've just been played through. Like there was no defence there. Essentially, Pedrosa's not started well. Bidstrup started okay. It was definitely on Pedrosa, wasn't it? That pass, but I didn't like how easily they got through us there. They literally just knocked it around. They're obviously a possession-based team. They've had 75% of the possession. And our lads are looking a bit frustrated, to be honest. A couple of yellow cards knocking about now too. Here's Restes. Can we build something from the back? It's gone all the way out to Borza. What in God's name are we doing? He's getting sent as well, isn't he? He's going to get sent. A penalty's been given from our own goal kick, I can add. You're coming in, Jared. You got to come in, mate. Ganderman saved by Restes. A let off. A very, very early let off, and Pedrosa is out. You are out. Brandthwaite is in. We were going to bring Vincent Ibrahim on, but I might just do that in the second half now. I can't believe it. And do you know what? It's not even the young lads. It's not like... What a tackle, Trev. It's not like Trev and Yeton and Suma are letting us down there. That is Jory Pedrosa, who's a wonder kid on the game. He's always on the next gen. Just really poor. Just really poor. Can we win the ball back? It doesn't look like anybody in red wants to play football here. Gift Orban. Ball across. Big chance again. And Restes has to make another save. I don't understand it because everyone's on a good average rating. 6.7 is fine. Restes having to come and claim it. Jota's not performed. Everybody else, apart from Pedrosa, has been fine. We've just not got out the blocks at all. There we go. Can we just be pigs and score off corner, please, and just end this nonsense from Ghent? Oh, it's over the bar. So it's half time, and we've escaped. We've escaped. That, God, that is awful. I think some changes are needed. Jota is on a 6.3, and that's what I mean with Jota. He's very frustrating. We're going to bring Sheldrup on. We're going to take Bungard off and put Bobrov on. Everyone else is staying the same. potentially change Bidstrup up, actually. Yeah, let's bring Riascos on. A proper playmaker. Bidstrup's more like he's more of a ball winner, Bidstrup, but he can. I shown you in the last video. He can sort of do a bit of anything. So he does come in and cover when needed. But yeah, we're changing that up now. We've got an AP out on the left. We've got a DLP, a proper DLP in there, and we've now got an advanced forward up there with Bobrov alongside Ayala, who's the complete forward. He's picked the ball up here from you and Yetin, and he's round his man, and he's got a ball in. But the defender read it well, and if we can win that header, we can't. We could have kept pressure on, lads. Right, Martins with a deep free kick. He's chipped it forward. Sheldrup wins it back. He's found Dennis Bobrov, and he can finish the lads, and he can finish! Dmitro Bobrov! 8th goal of the season. Seven in the Europa League, 1 in the Premier League. He scored against Palace. I mentioned him in the last video that he had scored 19 goals from an XG of 9 in the Czech League. And this is why. That is a finish. Do you know what? Most of my strikers wouldn't finish that. He's a good player, Dmitro Bobrov. He's really one to keep an eye on. This is sort of like his breakthrough season, kind of like Ayala's was. But with like Bobrov, we've got like 5 strikers essentially who are just sensational. So now that nonsense is out the way, we've got 1 sub left. Let's let this corner happen, and then we'll bring Vincent Ibrahim in. Here's Sheldrup. Good ball in, looking for Greaves. His header's over the bar, and he's going to come off. What we're going to do is Brandtwaite's going to come over to his favoured left-hand side. And Vincent Ibrahim is going to make his Bristol City debut in a very tough game. Ghent have given us a game. They really have. And it took a fantastic finish from a wonder kid to get us a goal, basically. So yeah, tough game for him to come on, but another youth player came through the academy, is now making his first team debut, and that's what I really like about the cup competitions. Right, a throw in for Ghent, who will look to build as much as they can, and they have done very well. Sheldrup's there, no, Ayala's there, and he's... I can't talk, I can't speak. Ayala pulls it back, Riascos is in there, oh, Riascos. Oh, dearie me. Doesn't score many, Michael Riascos, but he's normally better than that, which is why we've trained his... We've put looks for pass rather than attempting to shoot, because realistically there was another pass in the middle there. I think it was Suma, was just to the right of him. So another throw in. There's not really been anything happening other than throw-ins. Here's the Shepherd. Martins again. Lamic looking through for Gift Orban. He looked offside, and he was offside. He's absolutely bagged that, by the way. Did you see that finish? Do you know what? Vincent Ibrahim's got a 6.8 since coming off the bench. Well done, son. No one really underperformed there, apart from Jota. And then I know he's happy being a bit part player, but I'm not happy with his impact so far. I don't know whether it's because his physicals are waning slightly, and whether he now needs to be trained in a slightly different role. But the promise we said to him is that he was going to play as an inside forward, so we've got to do it. Sheldrup to Riascos. Couple of players moving, and that is lazy Riascos. Fofana, who's just come on as well, Fofana, and Vincent Ibrahim with a big tackle. And Gift Orban. It's just nonsense, lads. Sheldrup didn't get to the ball. Is this going to show the Ibrahim? What an inception that is. And then Sheldrup just doesn't put a tackle in. Sakor, again, he doesn't intercept there. And then Gift Orban, it's deflected in off Brandtwaite. Well, again, I wouldn't say undeserved, to be honest, for Ghent. I think they've been great. I think they've been great. The last 2 games, obviously we came out 3-1 winners against Leicester in the end. I think our quality just blew them away. Obviously, we rotate quite a bit in the Europa League, so it's not quite the same quality out there today. But they have easily deserved something from this game. intercepted by Borza. Here's Riascos. Now Sheldrup. This is better. Sheldrup knocking it past his man. Bobrov. Well, we're going to leave it there then, because that's the end of the game. That's the end of it. So thank you very much for watching. Undeserved from us, really, to get a point from this. But yeah, we're doing well. Thank you. See you next time.